Okay, welcome to the October 22nd, 2024 session of TAPR and HamSCI technical session. My name is Dave, KB0S, and this week I have been doing some reorganization in this shack, not too much, and some repair on my 3D printer. And so things are moving, but not so much. I've been getting ready for the TAPR meeting. I want to let everybody know there is a TAPR meeting. The general meeting for the year will be next Saturday, October, what is that, 26th. And it'll be, let's see, I know it's 4 o'clock my time. So that's central. So anyway, you should have gotten a message if you're a TAPR member. So please try to attend if you can. Next on the list, we have Nathaniel, W2NAF. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dave. It's been a very busy week. I think most closely related to this project, we now have my RX 888 back on the air, and this is all due to the hard work of Majid Mokhtari, our engineer here at Scranton, who was coached very well by Rob Robinette and Michael Howen. I know they spent lots of time working on this, and they set up a couple stations up in our lab. So we actually have some working on campus now. And then apparently the one I was running here just something got fried in it and they had to redo it. So Majid gave it back to me today. I plugged it right in. It all fired up and Rob said it's working. So that's really good. I am doing a lot to get the W3USR Club on the air and active, and that's been a lot of fun. So over the weekend, we participated in Jamboree on the air, and we spent about 4 or 5 hours over in the station on Saturday, and we had the Cub Scout Pack 126 come, and the college students came and some volunteers came, and we got the scouts on the air, and that was just a lot of fun. And in all of the calling CQ, we even worked Jason KC 5 HWB from Ham Radio 2.0, so we worked him, and now we're getting ready to help out at a local Aries nuclear power plant drill tomorrow night, which is federally evaluated. So we're fielding 2 teams. So there's a student team and a team I'm leading that's going out to Luzerne County tomorrow, and we're going to be running FL Digi on VHF and trying to run FL Message and all that stuff. And we're supposed to have FEMA officials looking over our shoulders. So cross your fingers that works well tomorrow night. And then after that, we're getting ready for the dedication that is on Friday, the W3USR dedication. And that's super exciting because we have people coming in from all over from that. Rosie Schechter from ARDC is coming. Ria Jairam from ARDC is coming. The RNSF Aeronomy Program Director, Dr. Shika Rezada is coming. David Kasdan and Gary McKeaton are coming, and Steve Serwin's coming, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The president of the college is going to say a few things. So I think the NJIT people are coming. Gareth and Kuldeep and our new postdoc Kukai, she'll be there too. So it's going to be quite the thing. Mary Lou West. So and that's not all that's going on this week. There are other things too, but I won't say anymore. It's busy. So back to net.
It sounds like you're very busy.
Yes.
So next on the list, we have Dave, KD0EAG. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, I've been puttering a lot, and I'm not sure what I've been doing entirely. I don't know whether I had this prototype back from, you can't see it anyway, but this is the new magnetometer module that PNI has. It's really the same magnetometer, but it's one of these castellated little boards that you can just solder straight on your design. and which saves a few pennies in making more than a few in making things, and probably makes it a little more robust. Um, and I wanted to be able to accommodate those in the future in case they quit making the other ones. Other than that, I wanted to say that there have been, I'm sad to say, a bit of difficulty with the Linode server for those of you who use it, because when I expanded and changed the type of data, I expanded storage to the much less expensive, but I think faster um, block data and much cheaper to use block data option. I they didn't say anything about resizing the volume each time I added uh, data to it. You know, you have a real simple point and click web page to tell them you want to pay more each month, but nothing that makes it useful. And so we noticed that some of the data was not getting picked up. I finally found I just had to go down to the um, operating system and use the usual uh, volume manipulation commands to expand the volume, kind of like a Raspberry Pi does, to get it all into service. And so now there should be 200 gigs on the block storage, which is probably more than I ever wanted, and um, and 80 of the older type. But so data should begin to flow off any magnetometers that still point up there, if they're operational at y'all's location or at the source location. It should start. And I looked a minute ago and I saw at least a couple of logs of Mike Cowan's stuff looked like they'd gotten transferred. But they should catch up, I should hope. If not, let me know. And always let me know if I've done something else stupid. Um, that's it for me.
Okay. Next on the list is Jim, K4BSE. Go ahead, Jim.
Good evening, all. Well, I had an interesting uh, little piece of minor excitement last week. My trusty K3, which has given me flawless service for many years, I decided that when I turned it off, it wasn't going to go off. The screen would go blank, but would stay lit, and the transceiver and the pan adapter were still powered. The pan adapter is powered off the receiver, off the transceiver. And so I messed around with it a little bit, got out the schematics and traced it and identified several pieces it could be. But I didn't really feel like doing all that surface mount soldering myself. So I contacted Elecraft about returning it. Got a return service authorization from them. Went out and got all new packing material to pack it up and get it back. And started taking it out of my station, disconnected everything in the back except power. And I said, I'm going to try just one more time before I disconnect the power. So I tried it and it was working perfectly. Power would go off properly. It came on properly, everything fine. Started putting things back on, got everything back on, it's still working perfectly. So I canceled the RSA today and hopefully it won't be a problem, but I don't know what happened to it. Back to net K4BSE.
Oh, okay. Well, good work, Jim. Next
Wishing you
on
what
the,
I'd done.
yeah. Next on the list, we have Andrew's phone. Does Andrew have any comments? He's got Mike muted, so I assume he isn't.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No comments so far. I I'm still you know, a fly on the wall at this point. As far as learning more about TAPR. I did spend some time browsing Wikipedia to learn more about ionosons as a instrument of scientific observation after the discussion over the email and last week, and have been following that a little bit. So nothing much to report, just still trying to pick up some more background about this. Thanks. Glad
Okay.
to be with all of you.
Okay. Thank you. And next on the list, we have Bill, AB 4EJ. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dave. Just got back from Spain. I was there for a conference on trying to improve the data sharing amongst different users for heliocentric and atmospheric data. It was sponsored by NASA and the European Space Agency, and got a chance to spend some quality time with John Vandergriff, a guy from Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab, learning how to deal with the heliocentric API for making your data more accessible. And well, I mean, okay, I got the server running on my laptop, okay, but that's not the hard part. The hard part is interfacing it to your data, okay?
Yes.
So we've got this DRF data, which is non-trivial to work with and not high performance, not high performant. So there's going to be some challenges ahead, but we'll do what we can. Let's see what else is going on. I'm waiting for a Flex Radio 8600, which I ordered at Dayton, and they allowed me to trade in my 6600 for cut the cost about in half to upgrade to the new rig. So that should be fun. There's a lot of new features and new capabilities on that. And working a lot on preparing to import the data from the Grape 1 legacy and the Grape 2 systems into the personal space weather station network. So building up a database of all of the different data that they have available going back several years now. And we're going to first create en masse all of the user IDs for those folks who have been collecting that data and never logged on to the PSWS. And then we'll start importing this data, but there's a lot involved because their data is not compatible. We need new plotting programs and all this and that, but we'll grind through that as we are able. So back to Ned.
Okay. Well, thank you. Next on the list is Bob, N5BRG. Go ahead, Bob.
Hello, everyone. Working away here. Last time we were together, I talked about trying to install the new version of Ubuntu, the 2404 on the Orange Pi, and I did try to do that, and it did not work. And I tried it a couple of different ways. So there may be some trick to it that I'm not familiar with, but it didn't work. So I think I'm going to just send my Orange Pi that I don't think I'll ever use to you, Rob. And I haven't done that yet, but I will the next day or two. And
Thank you. You don't have to, if you can get it installed, I mean, we could do this remotely. You don't have to send it to me even. So. Well, you don't have a 888. I don't have a 888, so I can't send one.
Well, you were looking for an Orange Pi the other day that you loaned out.
I would like to have an Orange Pi
Yeah,
with.
you're doing good work, so here it comes. Get ready.
Oh, thank you. That's thank you.
Anyway, I like Dave's comments about software taking orders. I've experienced that with Amazon this week. They're real good at taking orders, but if you want to talk back to them, you can't hardly do it. It just is amazing. Anyway, that's about all I have to tell tonight. Back to you, Dave.
Okay. Next on the list, I'm trying to keep my list in order here. Okay, is Bob N4HY?
Hello, everybody. This is McGuire. We've been
yes.
we've been working on our ionoson with the red pitaya, and 2 months ago we finally succeeded. And I wish I could tell you that we were all geniuses and figured it out. What we did was update the software from red pitaya, and what didn't work finally worked exactly like it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So we upgraded our tiny amplifier, and the student Gerard built a 150 watt amplifier. So we were going to go from about 10 watts to 150 watts on the ionoson. But I could tell you from the red pitaya running about 15 watts output through the whole system, we were getting 4 ionosphere layer returns from that, and with the 150 watts, I think it's going to be an excellent return. And then we're about to start entering oblique looks at the ionosphere as soon as we get the vertical ionoson working. So everything's going fine. I'll be in Scranton on Friday for the dedication.
Okay, well, very good, Bob. Next on the list is Clint,
Hold on,
KA7.
really quickly, Bob,
go ahead.
did you fill out the dinner form?
I did not. I didn't even know
I
it was
will
there.
email-
I hadn't looked.
I will email it to you right away so you can fill it out, okay?
Great, I'll do it. Just do it to my university email.
The Scranton one?
Yes, please.
Okay, robert.mcguire@scranton.edu.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, well, next on the list is Clint, KA7 OEI. Clint, are you there? He's got Mike muted. There he is.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm doing several things at once, but it looks like my camera's a bit dark. Have been away for a couple of weeks. Other than running a lot of POTA on CW when I was gone, haven't done much radio stuff, but at least related to this. So I guess I'll just sit here and catch up.
Okay, well, glad you're back. Next on the list is Dave H, W6OQ. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. As usual, I'm just here seeing what I can learn, and also, looking forward to our antenna project moving forward. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, very good. Then we have David McGaw in one HAC. Go ahead, David.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, speaking antennas, I've been playing with those a lot. I have a rheometer reference antenna pointing at the sky, and it's a 3-element beam on 30 megahertz. And then I have a number of the possible amplifiers for that we're evaluating. I just received the one from Bulgaria, the LZ1AQ official unit today. I have a N4CY version that I got last week. I have the Ella Kits and Parts that's actually been doing good service for a while now, and some various other E-field versions to evaluate. So looking forward to continuing with that project. And I'll point out, well, 2 things. One, the comet is naked eye now because the moon is down in the evening. Got a nice look at it last night. They call it 4th magnitude, but I'd say it's brightened if that's the case. Could see it naked eye as well as binoculars. And then interesting situation with propagation. Just before 25 megahertz WWV disappears, the 2.5 megahertz has started to come in. So you can hear all frequencies all at once, from 2.5 to 25, plus all the CWs, the CHUs as well. So interesting state of propagation. And looking forward to the next solar flare so that we can get some more aurora over here. Back to Net.
Very good. Next on the list, let me keep. Oh, Doug, KF0PCW, go ahead. Your mic muted. There you go.
Well, I'm continuing to listen and learn. And I'm learning, I just have really enjoyed listening in for the past several sessions. So looking forward to learning more tonight. Back to
Very
you.
good. Next on the list, we have Dylan Romero. Dylan, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, you have two.
Yeah, I
logins.
got two of them. One's a camera, one's a mic, because
Okay.
one has a better mic, one actually has a camera. So well, not really much to say other than I finally got it. Well, I gotta flip it around. There we go. I finally got my mill going. So
Very good.
I've been trying to figure out for the past month now what's been going on with my CNC machine, and I've replaced a couple parts on the I got my Linux Linux CNC machine going. Had to get some new parts for that PC, so that's all going good. But I found out that there were parts that were bad on the circuit board, the stepper driver. So replaced those, but it still did not fix the issue. So today I was thinking about it and decided, oh yeah, I'm gonna swap the stepper motor wires because it was mixed up. At first I thought that they were correct because I look at the manual for this specific board and it actually said that it was in the correct orientation. I swapped the wires around, works. And I'm like, oh my gosh, holy crud. So I'm thinking that someone had like parts go out on this board, tried to swap the wires around, see if that would fix it, and left it like that because I had it like that the whole time and wasn't working. So now it is, and I'm happy. So other than that, I don't have anything else. So I'll send it back to Dave.
Okay. Next on the list is Ed N3ED. Go ahead, Ed.
Hi, everyone. I will be attending the TAPR meeting as a long-term member. I appreciate you announcing it. Earlier, I found a paper, very interesting, juried paper that described the large rocket that SpaceX sent up. There was one that they successfully landed, but before that, they had a rocket that exploded twice. First the bottom stage and then the middle stage. And a group found that actually blew a hole in the ionosphere, and they were able to track it using the approximately 1 to 1.5 gigahertz GPS satellite signals. And I thought that maybe Nathaniel, which I believe I sent you a copy of that paper, and maybe Bill, there might be something in the HF that would be worth investigating, and it might be worth a paper. Just wanted to let you guys know. Otherwise, things are going along. And Nathaniel, if you could send me that dinner reservation form. I would really appreciate it. ed@computer.org. Thank you very much, and back to Matt.
I'll just put the general one in the chat here. There's a
Perfect.
Great.
Okay. Let's see. Next on the list, we have Jamal. Jamal, are you still awake?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to share a happy news. The research for Dr. Nathaniel and I think it's going to see the light finally to touch the infield basis, considering the numerical values. Alhamdulillah, we have managed to set far lab to generate the received powers at any location, just knowing the specs of the transmitter. I just set a scenario, someone sending from Scranton and a receiver at Cairo, which are apart about 9,200 kilometers. Actually, the parameters were very complex, specifically for the bearing. It wasn't that straightforward, and this stage passed by many verification ones. And I truly recommend the GPS visualizer tool. That is really nice to visualize using the W8 ellipsoidal model of Earth. Then finally, we have reached that the geolocalization problem, that in order to estimate the location for the users is a kind of convex problem. So a kind of optimization for the complex problem is going through, and I hope it's really get finalized and see the light. Yeah.
Well, very good. Sounds like a successful week.
Yeah, I'd really like to see those results.
Yeah.
Either a good time to show them would be on once we get the meetings, the Monday morning meetings going, that will be a good time. But until then, if you talk to Gary McKeaton, get on the schedule for the Thursday afternoon meetings. That's the best time to show that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next on the list, let's see.
And I should also say, if there's time during the open session tonight,
Okay.
you could show it tonight as well. There's nothing wrong with that.
So next on the list is Jay Schwartz, WB8 SBI. Go ahead, Jay.
Good evening, everybody. Just continuing my efforts here in the Society of Automotive Engineers Cybersecurity. There's a major automotive cyber conference here in Detroit, which I will be attending. And in terms of amateur radio, excuse me, I got in September attending the Findlay, Ohio HamFest. I got a case of bronchitis, so I'm still getting over that a little bit. Nathaniel, coming up for the HamSCI conference at NJIT. Is there any chance that the Space Weather Woman, has anybody contacted her to see if she can come out?
I have spoken with her lately. I exchanged emails with her like a week or so ago, but we haven't specifically tried to book her for this conference.
Oh, well, I make the motion to try and get her to come on out.
I will definitely invite her again.
Please. I mean, last time I think she was at Huntsville. And
yes,
it was really, really good presentation.
Yeah.
And she is just a super cool person.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree. She is outstanding. So yes, I'll definitely extend that invitation to her again, and I hope she can make it.
Roger that. Other than that, not a whole lot going next year. Oh, general announcement. Next month in New York City, the Radio Club of America will be holding its annual meeting. Go to their website. The hotel's a little bit pricey. It's in Times Square, New York City, $250 a night. But on the Saturday night banquet is going to be one of the Nobel Prize laureates who won the Nobel Prize for discovering the cosmic microwave background radiation. And I think there's also going to be, either on Thursday or Friday,
preceding the conference, a bus tour out to New Jersey to actually see the horn, to actually the old Bell Labs building where the horn is going to be is currently there. So Radio Club of America, if you're interested in attending, should be interesting. Oops, Bill's got a DX Hound with him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the DX Hound with him. 7-3 back to net control.
Okay. Next on the list is Joe, W7LUX. Go ahead, Joe.
Good evening, all. I'll be quick. Both of the grape receivers, the original and the DRF version, are working despite 5-hour power outage and electrical storms. They're working though. Thank you, Dave.
Okay. Next on the list is Jonathan, KC3EY. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Hi, everybody. Most of what I've been doing is non-VLF related. Some other stuff I had to attend to. But there was one thing that I wanted to mention. Always make sure that if you believe that you have hard drives failing within the warranty period, always make sure that the power supply that's powering those hard drives currently works. Because there's a good chance is that you might look like a fool with support. This was related to the Western Digital Purple drives that I've been using for a non-VLF related use, and I thought I'd been having problems with them, issues that they were failing, but I completely ignored the fact that there were other indicators that were indicating that there was a power supply failure, and power supply failures could look like hard drive failures, and then when you run your smart tests and everything passes, you're thinking, what's going on here? Something's not right. But no, it turns out that that your power supply is a bad. So so I definitely was quite enlightened by this experience, but also relieved. I have some apologizing to do to Western Digital Support. But anyway, I still do recommend that if you do buy any sort of hard drive for various ham or science-related use, definitely purchase it from WD directly, or the manufacturer directly, or a manufacturer-approved reseller, just so you're not getting any sort of a bad quality product. But anyway, and there hasn't really been much on VLF news. But Bill, I wanted to mention that one of these days we do have to go over the requirements, and well, not the requirements, but the methods on pulling and storing VLF data. And I remember you were talking about the difficulties with digital RF, and there's utilities and VLF-RX tools that makes it very easy to store and manipulate stored data, visualize stored data, without the cumbersome programming or, whatever with digital RF. So one of these days we could go over that. Maybe tonight, if there's time, I could kind of give you a bit of an overview. And and then Nathaniel had talked to me about the requirement of converting VLF data into digital RF data. Since that's kind of new to me, that's something that I think we should probably enlist the help of someone who's familiar with digital RF and programming. But that's not something that I could immediately do right now. But for purposes of the server, the tools available could be of very good use. That's all I have. Back to the net.
Okay. Next on the list is Phil, K9Q. Go ahead, Phil.
Hi, guys. We've been on the road lately. We took a road trip up to the Bay Area to go to Pacificon. Along the way, we stopped and saw some friends. And also, Rob gave us a nice tour of KFS on, I guess it was Friday. And it's good to see all the hardware I've been using the other end of an internet connection. It's an impressive place. When you see an antenna like that, it's like, why do we bother put up an antenna of my own? Anyway, it's that site is working pretty well. I mean, data is appearing on PSK report on FT8 and FT4. Rob, I just added a bunch of foxhound frequencies that I found for FT8 on mostly 20 meters. So there should be hopefully even more reports. So that's about it. We got back late last night and we're pretty tired, so catching up on sleep. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay. Next on the list is Scott, who's usually mic muted. Yes, he is again tonight. And then we have Tom, M5EG. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, good evening, Dave, everyone in the group. Not much ham radio related activities in the last week. Still moving. So the good news is I found the floor in the new place. It was down there somewhere. So that must mean progress. Back to the group.
Okay. Well, next on the list is Rob Robinette. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's see. In the last week, I've been a number of things. Hosted Phil on Thursday and Kimberly, his wife, out at KFS. Bill has insisted that I should get my Linux usage into Linux standards, so he's created work. Phil, I'm working on that, changes to Whisper Daemon to kind of to match what you want. It's to remove I have to go back and look at code I wrote several years ago and undo a bunch of it. So
have we figured out which antenna is broken? I can't still. It's
Northwest is broken. I don't know. I don't understand. We have to resolve the differences. Phil's looking at the FT8 and floor reports and seeing a lot more from the Northwest. The Whisper reports show and the coming from the RX888 and there's also a Kiwi there. Both of those show that the Northwest antenna is 20 dB weaker. Apart from its directivity, it's also just in general a 20 dB down from everything. So
you're saying Southeast works good?
Southeast is excellent. Southwest is good.
Something is swap because to me it's the Southeast one.
I looked at my photo. I just haven't had time to go out there and look at it. But I have photos. I have photos of the back of it. Your results and mine just are unexplainable. It's let's get William Shatner in here and have him tell us what's going on. But I need to go out there. Next time I go out, I'll look at it again. But I at the moment I see I just have the WISPR reports come from the 888s. Your FT8 reports come from the 888s. The WISPR reports do not match the differences between the antennas do not match the
All right.
differences you're seeing
It's
between
got to be
FT8.
buried in the configuration somewhere. I'll take another look.
I don't understand it, and I looked through it, but it's I just have so many things backed up that I can't drive out there to look at it, and I
All
wanted to
right.
finish
All
the
right.
changes to Whisper Demon to do what you wanted me to do. That's in test. So, but I can't, and I blew up one of my 888s. I broke it when Clint, I've sent you. I didn't have a field probe for you, but I did send you another broken 888. It seems to me what I'm learning from this is that the printed circuit board on the 888 is very fragile, the soldering of the parts on the 888. And I think I once again stressed the printed circuit board, the FX8 on the FX3 on the printed circuit board, and I broke broke some of the balls off or something because it stopped it responds, it's same symptom I've seen before. So I dropped a 888 in the mail to you, Clint, today. I think I may have sent you one last week. So you have two broken 888s, both due to my
Actually,
fumbling around.
I have 4 of them.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think some of them, if if you can repair them, fine. I think I need to order a dozen 888s. Just I have some because one of the things that came up in the last week is that I was introduced through Gwen G3CIL to Jerry, who's G3, who's some he's from the UK and he's on his way to he works with the Australian Antarctic group. So Jerry believes that we can get Whisper Demon, Whisper Grape if you want, whatever functionality at both of the Australian Antarctic stations this summer, Antarctic summer, if I get them 888s in time. So I guess I should just log on and buy another 5 888s or something from them. But so I need to stage those. I need to stage a B link and a 888 to go to the German station, Antarctic station. And Jerry also has hams that he works with on Falklands, South Georgia, and South. What's the other south end? Anyway, those three antenna islands in the middle of the South Atlantic. He has hams that are ready to host Whisper Demon sites. So we could have a much better coverage from the southern hemisphere in the next year. Especially especially if I can assemble and ship off all this stuff in time. But the key thing for Jerry to get stuff into the Australian stations, and this is a problem, same problem I have elsewhere, is that we need I need a kind of a one pager for the the management at these sites to tell them what the system is, what its scientific purpose is, who the organization HamSCI is sponsoring it, and what the equipment it looks like, and what what burden it will put on their internet connectivity and power assumptions and so on, and that's actually very timely, especially for the Australian Antarctic team. We have about a week to get such a document together. So I know that Gary, who is, I think, not in this call, gave me some of the documents, a kind of an extract from Nathaniel's grant proposal. But I don't think we have anything that just is a one pager that says, here you are. And I think this is going to be needed for all of the grape sites in the coming year. I mean, tell them what it is we're going to give them, what it's going to look like, how big it is, what cables are going to have to run, what we expect of them in terms of internet connectivity. I mean, this is a one pager that I think we need for everybody, but unfortunately, if I'm going to get the system to Australia, I think we need to have that document this week. So I don't know if we can raise the priority of that, creating that document. And I'm not think I'm not necessarily, I can, I have pictures of what the Whisper Demon part of it looks like, but I don't think the rest of it is easy to, I don't have immediate access to it. So could we prioritize that task? And now, I'm around this week to help on it, but I would really like to work with someone else who's better at documentation.
Hey, Rob, I just found the problem. You want to know
What's
what
that?
it is? There we guess.
Okay.
All the FTA channels in the southeast antenna were receiving an AM.
Oh.
Envelope protection. But now the question now is, why did it receive anything?
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
I flipped the default was AM and it didn't say sideband, so I put in USB and now it's receiving.
Okay. Okay.
Now
Well, I
we can
gotta.
compare
Okay.
the two
Okay.
sectors.
Okay. I need
Yeah.
to. Okay. I need.
All
I
right.
need you to. I need you. I need to get that. Because of the complexity. There's 4 antenna systems, 4 888s. I maintain a master copy
All
of
right.
all of the configuration files. Both there's a single configuration file for all that's used by all the Whisper Demons on all 4 antennas. Or actually, there's 6 receivers there, so there's 6 of them that are configured with one file, and then on each server it's able to, it looks at what's the name of the server and picks out that part of the configuration. It would be really helpful if I could do the same thing for the radio D configurations. If I don't have, because right now there's an individual radio D config for every one of the 4 RX 888s there.
Okay.
So coordinating them right now, there's a master copy that's on the Whisper Demon 2 machine there, which you don't access typically. But that's where I go and edit it, and then I run an rsync, a little command that pushes the master copies out to all of the individual sites. So that way,
Okay. Well,
I'm sure they're
the running copy is working. You know where to get it.
good. Okay. Well, I'll go and make sure that gets incorporated. Your changes
All
get
right.
incorporated into the. Good. Well, that's one mystery solved. But so anyway, I built and sent. So I built and sent the field probes. I don't know. I showed you guys what if this is Glenn's field probe, and I've sent one of these out to 4 of these out. This is the example of a field probe. This is this is a I include the telescoping antennas. This is from JLPCB, and you need a spectrum analyzer, the recommended unit being the Tiny SA Ultra. So this allows you to walk around your property or your QTH and look and get calibrated measurements of field strength, and you can find the optimal place of your property and orientation of your antenna to maximize the signal noise ratio of what you're receiving. So I've shipped one to David. There's one going to you. There's one that's going to Michael Howen. There's one that went to Nathaniel, and one that went to this FOD, Frank O'Donnell, down in LA. So I have 4 of those going out. If there's others who are interested, now that I know how to make them, it's pretty easy to order them from I think to JLPCB, so I could make them up. Those of you who I've sent them to, you will need to have a 9-volt battery. Yeah, I didn't ship anything with a battery in it. I did include the antennas. Okay, so the 2 telescoping antennas are there, and of course I didn't include any of the SMA cabling or the Tiny SA Ultra. So so if others are interested in this device, please contact me, and if I get enough people up, they cost me about $75 each. Total cost, including USPS shipping. So, I think it's a pretty essential tool for anyone who's wants to do radio science work. Well, that's the field um, the field probe. Glenn, is any questions? Did anybody have? I want one. I think if you want one, the you know, send me an email, and if I gotta basically I can do them in batches of 5. That's the most efficient cost wise. So if I do a batch of 5, it costs me about $75 each to. Let's see. So that's one thing. See, I've been working with let's see, what is this? Oh, I'm transmitting. I've just been transmitting on Whisper for the first time in 50 years. I'm actually a transmitter. And I've been sending, this is part of my Plan B Beehive monitoring project. So I'm transmitting on 22 meters using an RF0. If any of you, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the RF0, a marvelous development platform for RF tools. So you can, I don't know now, it's maybe $100 to get it from Bo in Denmark, but it's a great resource for developing things. So I've taken the RF0. It's basically it has a GPS section. GPS disciplined oscillator is disciplined, so it's truly stable. And it has a 5351, and it comes with a whole suite of different kinds of software. I'm running the Whisper Transmit software package, and you can you send out Whisper or FST4W on any band from 2,200 meters through, I think it goes up at least through 2 meters. Yeah, it's stable enough to give you decodable signals up on 2 meters. So it's a wonderful little tool. Of course, it only puts out at 20 milliwatts or less, but I'm with the 20 milliwatt output I'm able to get this afternoon. I get several single hop receivers. Clint, you're spotting my transmissions. And several people are spotting them up in Washington, and Frank O'Donnell is down in LA. So this is the idea being this is a way to do remote sensing at rarely, locations that don't have cell phones, don't have power. You can throw up an antenna and a little solar powered Whisper transmitter and send your data up. So that's anyway, that's my transmitting. The other activity is the antenna project. I think we established, what they're doing with the antenna. We had a phone conference with Professor Michael Harjay, who's the designer of the ENAM's receive antenna and the rest of their system, the ENAM's noise measurement system that I discussed last week. And I think I understand their antenna. I don't know that in fact, Gwen did a little study and compared our noise measurements against that of an ENAM's antenna at Carl's, KA9L or something, Carl, in Indiana. And our noise measurement levels almost track his. In fact, we have greater diurnal variation from, let's see, who was he comparing it? I think it was one of Michael's antennas. Maybe it was Michael's E-field probe or something was doing even better than the ENAM's antenna. But that's maybe not entirely relevant. If we wanted to incorporate ENAM's data and be able to contribute it, I'm pretty sure they have a requirement that we use their antenna. So I think we haven't yet figured out whether we can almost fabricate one. I mean, they're not commercially available, but the antenna is not that sophisticated. It's a 1 meter whip. It's a meter and a half above a 4 element ground plane, and it's a J310 input uh, um, LNA. It's not the quietest amplifier. It's very good, but it's not as quiet as you can get. And I think that the noise performance measurements we got suggest that and some reports I have from other people are that their system is really not as calibrated as they claim it to be. There's quite a variation between their sites, even their quiet sites, between their noise level measurements. So I think that's an indication of the difficulty of using a monopole with a small ground radials. But anyways, I think it's we'll see if there's that's one possibility in the future. I still think it would be great if we could do ENAMS measurements. If not with them, it now interests me to if we could extract. I think I've talked with Phil about this project. Is extract a more complete spectral noise level spectrum out of the K90Q feed and record that information. Right now, our noise levels are derived just in the whisper bands, and the background noise levels are limited to only very specific frequencies within the 3 to 30 megahertz spectrum. And I think Phil's Radio D puts out a lot more information that would be of great. I thought what I see from ENAMS seems to really complement what we're getting in terms of looking at signals. We know how important it is to look at noise at the same time. And this is the ENAMS approach is a much more sophisticated and complete way of looking at the spectrum, the noise across the bands. Anyway, that's my and I guess we lost Bill. I don't know what's happening. I think Bill Engelby is working with, apparently the ID department is putting together a server for us that where Whisper Demon server might also reside. Okay, well, I've taken up a lot of my as usual. Thank goodness for you put me at the end so people can drop off and don't miss other people. So, but hopefully I wasn't rambling too much. So I'll go back to you, Dave.
Well, okay. Well, I think that's the end of the list. So we basically can continue discussing unmoderated.
I think that sounds good. It's also 10 o'clock here.
Let's see.
So I might say I think that's all of the updates sounded really good. Rob, I really like the idea of incorporating the ENAMs, even if we do not have their exact antenna and it's not going into their database. I think if we just, get all the data format and everything else, as technically correct as possible, if we keep track of the data, maybe it's still useful on this
Well,
project.
what I could, yeah, I mean, if I can work with Gwen,
Yeah.
and we could create another table in the Whisper Demon database for this information. This is, I think, I think this is really useful and important data that would complement everything else we do. So it's
I
think
absolutely agree.
in a way, I think it maybe even in a way, given that my better understanding of how ENAMS works and the limitations of their antenna, and of even the receive system that they put together, I think we might get better noise data than they have. I mean, they've seemed to be much more focused on calibration rather than performance. And as a result, I think that they've ended up with a calibrated but somewhat insensitive system. And I think that one of my continuing efforts here is to communicate that we could expand the scope of the HamSCI Daisy 2 project by and the scientific relevance of it by adding a much more complete noise level measurement system. So it's a project. It's not a trivial thing to do because you got to create a database, then you got to create the the Grafana
Right.
pages to display it. But
Right.
Arnie is such a whiz at these. The German guy who does our Grafana does the Whisper.live site.
Mm-hmm.
Arnie is, I don't even know his last name. Actually, I think I do, but he's not a ham, but he's the one who brought us into the Grafana world and introduced the ClickHouse database to us that we use now. So he is very he seems to be very responsive. If we do new things, I think we might find that Arnie might be a good contributor because to the database part of it, because I think Gwen is overburdened with this with his analysis part, and I want Gwen to continue to focus on analysis, not on working on databases. Seems like a really not the best use of his skills. And
I completely agree with that.
Okay.
And in terms of your request for the documentation, I would encourage you to work with Gary McKeaton on that. And I think Gary has I think Gary probably has all of the information that you need to put together that document. And Gary is also very good at doing those documents. And I think he'd be more than happy to help with it. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, because I think I am totally booked for, but Gary has volunteered to do that sort of thing.
I will contact him. I've had the KF. I gave 2 tours to KFS. I've been working on working on stuff for that Phil's wanted me to do. I think we have. I think Phil has agreed that if I somehow get Paul or someone else who can't to create appropriate stimulus, that Phil would work on the phase synchronization between multiple ARCs 888s. And that would put us in a whole new, realm of investigations and understandings.
That would be fantastic.
Gary and Nathaniel just had an article in the newest QST too on the eclipse.
Yes. Which was mostly written by Gary. And then I did a few edits and suggestions, but it was primarily Gary's but it includes some of the observations from my station in there, and it is nice.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna say 73 for now. I will see everyone soon. The dedication ceremony / lecture that will be on Zoom. I'll send a Zoom link out over the HamSCI list over the next couple of days. So I'll just have the meeting owl set up, so anyone who wants to listen in, they're more than welcome to. But Dave, I wish you luck with the TAPR meeting on Saturday. I'm sorry I can't be there, but I'm very glad you're doing it. And I will see everyone on the different telecons over the next week or so.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Well,
back to net.
I just want to say something very important, really important. My birthday is in October 24. Just the before.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. So I will consider that W3 USR is a celebration for my birthday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.